Hello and welcome. I'm Andriani, a journalist, traveler, and yes, a mom of three wonderful chaos creators. I have started this podcast because I love stories, the ones that make you laugh, think, sometimes even cry a little. And I want to share them with you over a coffee, a cup of tea, or maybe over the chaos of daily life, wherever you are. Today is our very first episode. We are going to talk a little about me, why I started this podcast, and share a story from my life. A story that taught me something about curiosity, patience, and finding humor in the unexpected. So, who am I? Well, I'm a journalist, which basically means I ask questions that make people raise an eyebrow, chase stories to places I never planned on, and sometimes end up talking so much I lose my own voice. I am also a traveler, the kind who jumps into new places head first, figuring things out as I go, laughing at the missteps and noticing the little details that make each culture feel alive. I collaborate with people all over the world. Some experiences have been amazing, inspiring, and full of laughter. And others, well, let's just say they have tested my patience and my sense of humor. And then there's the other side of my life. I am a mom to three incredible little humans who make sure my days are never dull, who teach me patience, improvisation, and that no story, no matter how big, is as unpredictable as bedtime routines. This podcast is my little corner to share stories with you. Stories from the newsroom, from my travels, from collaborations that went beautifully and some that didn't, but also from parenting and family life. Mostly, I will be talking about the different cultures I encounter in my work, in my travels, and even at home, and how all these pieces, career, adventures, motherhood, combine to shape the way I see the world. Let me tell you about moving back to Greece after 10 years in the UK. A week full of collaborations, meetings, and the usual little adventures that come when deadlines meet Mediterranean timing. After so many years in the UK, punctuality is basically in my bloodstream. I arrive 10 minutes early to every meeting, coffee in hand, notebook ready, mentally ticking off the agenda, and then I wait, and wait, and wait. There is something about standing on a sun-drenched Athens street, perfectly on time, glancing at your watch, and realizing that your meticulously organized day is suddenly negotiable. So let's start with day one. I'm meeting a creative partner in Athens. I'm perfectly on time, soaking in the city, rehearsing what I want to say. 10 minutes pass. Nothing. 20 minutes, still nothing. I stay noticing little details, such as the smell of fresh pastries from the bakery across the street, the way the sunlight hits the old balconies, the soft hum of scooters in the distance. Finally, my collaborator strolls in, relaxed, smiling, like time in Greece simply flows differently. I laugh, realizing Mediterranean timing isn't a flaw, it's a feature, charming, human, and wonderfully unpredictable. Let's move to day two. I have a video call with another partner in Thessaloniki. I'm punctual, precise, ready to go. They join 15 minutes late, apologizing between chuckles because schedules here are more flexible. While I try to keep my UK self calm, I notice the way the city moves at its own rhythm outside my window. The vendors arranging their stalls, the soft morning light over the rooftops, and I start to appreciate that there is creativity in this slower pace. Ideas can breathe, conversations can linger, and laughter has time to grow. Day 3. Traveling to a small island for a collaboration workshop. Ferry scheduled for 9 a.m. I'm there at 8:45. Ferry leaves at 9:30. Workshop starts eventually. But in the waiting over long coffees and laughter with fellow travelers, brilliant conversations happen. I notice how everyone leans into the unpredictability, sharing stories, swapping tips, making jokes about missed trains and late boats. Ideas spark, connections deepen, and the pace may be slower, but the results are still amazing. Day 4. Back on the mainland, I navigate a series of meetings and brainstorming sessions. Some start late. Some get interrupted by phone calls or spontaneous visitors. Some move to cafes because offices are too small for all the collaborators. And yet, in every conversation, in every little hiccup, there's warmth, humor, and creativity. Deadlines are still there, yes, but they are softened by human interaction. Day 5. By now, I have stopped fighting the rhythm and started observing it. I have back-to-back meetings scheduled, on paper at least. One gets pushed because someone just popped out for a coffee, another turns into a walking meeting because it's too sunny to stay indoors, and the third starts late but ends with the most honest, productive conversation of the entire week. There is less rushing, more listening, less checking the time, more checking in with people. And strangely enough, by the end of the day, everything that actually matters has been done. At some point during that week, somewhere between the delayed ferries, the coffees, and meetings that never quite start when they are supposed to, I start mentally comparing how meetings work in the UK versus how they work in Greece. Not in a judgmental way, just out of curiosity, because both systems do work. They just prioritize very different things. In the UK, meetings start on time, sometimes even early. Agendas are sent in advance. Everyone knows exactly how long the meeting will last and what needs to be decided before the clock runs out. There is comfort in that structure. Time feels respected. Efficiency is visible. Productivity is measurable. And when the meeting ends exactly on schedule, there is a quiet sense of achievement, like something neat and complete has been successfully done. In Greece, meetings often start later, but rarely without intention. The delay isn't indifference, it's elasticity. Someone was finishing another conversation, someone needed a coffee first, someone arrived with a story that mattered. The agenda exists, but it's flexible, more of a guide than a rule book. In the UK, conversation is focused. You get to the point quickly. Personal details come later, if at all. The separation between work and life is clear, almost protective. In Greece, the personal comes first. Family, life, context. Only then does the work begin to unfold. It's not inefficient, it's relational. Trust is built before tasks are assigned. Collaboration grows out of connection and not the other way around. Schedules follow the same philosophy. In the UK, a schedule is a promise. If something shifts, it's explained, documented, and often apologized for. Deviations feel serious, almost moral. In Greece, a schedule is a framework. It adapts to reality. Delays don't signal failure, they signal flexibility. The work still gets done, just not always in the order or at the pace you imagined. What strikes me most isn't that one approach is better than the other, it's that they reflect two very different relationships with time. The UK protects the clock. Greece protects the human moment. One values precision, the other values presence. And standing somewhere between the two, shaped by years in the UK but raised in the Mediterranean, I realize I have learned from both. I bring structure into Greek chaos and I carry Greek warmth into structured spaces. That balance is where I now do my best work. And as I sit back and watch these differences, I can't help but think about my roots, my Greek mom and my Cypriot dad, and the way they raised me in Athens. In our household, time was often a little flexible. Conversations could stretch for hours over coffee or family meals. Plans shifted mid-sentence, but there was always warmth, laughter, and connection. Living in the UK taught me punctuality, precision, and discipline. But my mom and dad taught me something else, that human connection matters just as much as the clock. That some of the best ideas, the strongest collaborations, and the most memorable moments happen in the spaces between schedules. Even after 10 years of UK punctuality, I carry that Mediterranean rhythm with me. The humour, the gentle chaos, the warmth, alongside the habits of structure I acquire abroad. It's this mix, a little UK, a little Mediterranean, a little mum, a little dad, that shapes how I move through work, collaborations, and life today. As this week comes to a close, I sit with a coffee in hand and think about how strange and beautiful it is to live between rhythms. The UK taught me the value of the clock. Greece, my mom and dad, the streets of Athens, the stories they shared, taught me the value of the human moment. And somehow, I have learned to carry both. To be punctual and precise, but also patient and playful. To meet deadlines and still make space for laughter, conversation, and connection. Next time, I want to take you back even further, to where it all starts for me. My Greek and Cypriot roots. Growing up in Athens with a mom who had a story for every moment and a dad whose humor could turn chaos into comfort. The traditions, the family rituals, the little messiness of a Mediterranean life that shaped who I am today. So stay tuned. There will be laughter, maybe a few surprises, and a deeper dive into the stories that built me and the lessons I carry into work and life I lead now. And for me, well, some things never change. I will still be 10 minutes early to my meetings. Some habits just stick.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.